I don't know how to respond to flattery, so if you ever want to see me uncomfortable, just keep saying stuff like that. Literally, I don't. You should see me in public. You do that thing really well. Yeah, I'm fucking awesome. You cunt fuck. Yeah. Thanks. This is kind of how it usually goes. I just don't know what to do. I'm an awkward, strange little man. I like you guys. You're my kind of fans. You're fans, right? You're technically fans? Do I technically have fans now? That'd be awesome. That was kind of the idea. I try to have fun with my face. Big stupid face. All it's good at is sweating and looking stupid and funny, and yeah. Oh man, it's so warm in here. I really gotta finish this video and open the door. Oh, it's just gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse from here too. That's the best part. So looks a little choppy. No, it looks good now. Sweet. Okay. So I'm just gonna jump ahead right to okay. Let's do the opening run. So you do blue into. Let's just run right ahead to the spawn of blue. So you do blue. Start with W. You want to turn on blood price, and well, I mean, with this skin, it's very obvious. It's red sword when blood price is active, green sword when health is active. Right until you're pretty much under 50%, then start healing sort of back. I would run around the jungle at 200 health the whole time, blood pricing, then healing, if I wasn't worried about getting ganked at all. But I just almost never know when it's going to come these days. I mean, I do and I don't. It's just safer to sort of go to 300 and then heal back up and then turn it back on. Yeah, so you run to wolves, and then you go and you kill lizard. Kill his big stupid face. You can take E or Q. I haven't noticed any real difference in for level 2 in terms of farm. I take Q sometimes if I'm worried about getting ganked, but a lot of people don't seem to invade. So again, Yasao warded down around here. I saw him go to ward on the minimap. I didn't see where. I thought it was deeper than it was. It turns out it's right fucking there. But I chose to go around the top side to hide the gank, hoping that he would basically, like, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Rewind a little more. I'm hoping that he's going to, like, dash onto this minion or something, or engage onto Garen, or, like, close the gap. I mean, once I start running towards him, there isn't much backing off. It's you go in for the kill. There's just, like, when you don't know how the champion's exactly going to engage, and I'm kind of hoping that they're just going to be more forward once I get there than further back. So there, that gank fails. I tried to sweep. I swept. Right there. Missed it completely. Figured maybe I could. It was right here, and that's why I missed it. But it was right there, and I'm just wasting fucking time. So that was a giant waste of time, money, and jungle gold experience. And I'm hoping to make up for it by ganking here. This gank fails too. Let's not even go into details on why. I should have jumped right here, right now, and that would have netted a kill. You'll see Zed jumps on her like immediately afterwards, and practically finishes her all on his own. So if I'd done anything there whatsoever, that would have been a kill, but it wasn't. So I farm for the next 5 minutes. Moving 5 minutes ahead. Taking the second lizard spawn. Pretty much right when it's right when it spawns. I mean, it's 7:20 on that side, and then it's about another minute and a half of running up the lane farming. I am fairly confident there's no ward here, but it doesn't matter. He's pushed out far enough that I can still grab him. Well, there isn't either. So this time I can come up the right way. And I always save my Q if I can for when they flash. But he doesn't, so. And that's a gank. Yay! Kills, yay. There isn't much else, I go back to farming at this point. I think we take the turret. That's one thing you really want to look for every opportunity for with Aatrox is his turret killing ability. Yeah, it was definitely a memory leak issue where I was running on my page file or something like that. So we beat the shit out of this turret, and then I go back to farming the jungle. Let's take a look at my build real quick. You'll notice Madrid's, Doran's Blade, boots, potions. That's it. I'll probably be in this stage for a while. I with these 3 items, I run around the jungle for way too long. I mean, with Aatrox's sustain, you can get by with without that a lot. So I see this gank going down. I was going to be running sort of like bottom or maybe to white, but decided to react to mid. And at this point forward, I don't really know what's going on. Jarvan's still here, Sona's still here, Zed's still here. Like, we're not getting this turret. I know that's not happening, but Zed's also still there. And like, I don't want to leave because, I mean, Jarvan, well, I guess, I mean, he can still do that, but there's more of a threat to him. That was kind of cute. Jarvan flashed into my queue. By the way, Sona mid, kind of viable. Like, she was punching holes in people. And this is like a mid-plat Sona, so I mean, if she's doing it and enjoying it enough to at least want to try and practice it, there might be some viability to it. I can tell you, she was punching holes in people. Like, look at that damage. So yeah, she kills Zed out from under my nose. Nothing I can do about it, really, without putting myself in pretty serious risk. So I just grabbed farm. This is not interesting. So what's the next interesting bit? Bot overextends, and I killed him. That's interesting. Farming jungle, always constantly sweeping the minimap looking for the next opportunity. Nami isn't really an opportunity. She's full health. She has CC. She's just going to run away. She's not going to engage on Zed, so there's no reason to go there. Ezreal, on the other hand, is very, very pushed. He's really, really far out. I don't know if this is warded. I don't really care. He's so far out, it doesn't matter. Ezreal really tried to survive this. Like, Arcane shifted my E, flashed my Q, and forces me to flash to get the kill. I was impressed by a couple flashes this game. Next point. Pressure at mid? No. Bot gank. Bot gank. I think we go for dragon here. But this is a pretty no-brainer dragon. Like, killed bot, no one in the area. No one even come to contest the kill or help Ezreal. So, free dragon. I could have soloed it and they could have wandered off to do whatever. I mean, it's definitely a lot of points to solo dragon with Aatrox. Like, all I need is a couple, like, level 5 you can solo dragon. I'm pretty sure. I was really close one game and then shit happened. You should probably also mention I'm leveling W first and foremost. W and then E and then Q. It'd be nice to have the lower CD on Q, but I like the more slow on the E. I mean, when it comes to jungling, more CC the better. You can never have too much. So, you generally, like, your damage slash, you know, the ability that you are using to be a jungler. I mean, in this case, Aatrox, it's a sustain, and his W is the one you level first, and then the second one would be the CC. It changes. I mean, that's, again, there's no real one rule in this game. Why do you bother with Dorans instead of just Longsword? Health, primarily. You need that sort of pool to survive with. Plus, like, the lifesteal is really nice. I mean, more sustain is always better. And like 3 Doran's Blades that's like more than a Ruby Crystal in health. It's pretty significant. And once again, you have that core of like Madrid's and then a couple Doran's Blades. You can just run around and farm to your heart's content. So you can get your Cutlass money and your Wriggles money. And I mean, if things are going really, really well, get Wriggles early because you get more gold from it. But otherwise, it's largely just for the health. And, well, the AD and the sustain, they're just like every stat that it gives is really big on Aatrox. Like, all you're really building on Aatrox is defensive stats. Well, actually, you're building a lot. Defensive stats, attack speed, attack damage, cooldown reduction, and health. That's actually a lot. The only thing you're really avoiding is mana regen. AP. Don't really need AP. You can definitely do without AP. But yeah, so I've found it. You're already really squishy, and you kind of have to play like an ADC throughout the entirety of the game. Every little bit of help, really, really helps them. I've just been in too many spots where I'm at, like, I get away with 100 health, or yeah, yeah. I haven't really crunched the numbers on it. It's just, I mean, it's been serving me really well once I get that core of Madrids and Doran's blades and boots. Like, I mean, I'm more of an experimental player. When it comes to builds, if I see it working, I'll try it again until I see it stop working. So there could be some. I mean, yeah. When games are going really well, then I'll skip the Dorn's blades completely, and I'll just get like a cutlass and a wriggles. But if the other team has any sort of damage, like Aatrox is again like a shitty ADC, and once you move into engage, it's basically all or nothing. So every little bit helps, and the burst is really more the threat than it is like little pitter patter sustained damage. Sustained damage you're not so much worried about as you are just hard burst, and the best thing to negate hard burst is health. I'm gonna stop talking about this because I'm beating the fucking point to death. Yeah, I'm like getting defensive about my Doran's blade build now. Like, why do I build Doran's blades? Felt like a good idea. Seems to always work out. I mean, that's like half my thought process. Okay, so anyways, chase down, kill things, auto attack. I want to back up on that a little more because the positioning there was, I think, important. I think coming through the gank through try. This is an easy decision in terms of ganks because no tower really extended out. They don't see me coming. Nami lands a nice annoying ult, misses her bubble, thank God, otherwise this would never have happened. And then you'll notice I kind of always reposition sort of backwards. Like, I want to stay away from more than basically 2 people at once. You never want to get near more than 2 people at any point throughout the entirety, unless you're, like, so insanely fed that like, you can just walk under turrets and give them yourself. You really gotta be, like, that's the hardest point of Aatrox. The early game is easy. He has really strong sustain, he's a really strong duelist, like, his build isn't very complex. Why is that an important point? Uncomplex build. Fuck. I'm just looking for points now for things in his favor. So he's really strong early. I mean, he's got the gap closer, CC, etc., etc. A free GA at level 1. I mean, that's fucking huge. So the hard part with him really is the team fight stage, and the tricky part is when to go in, and sometimes it's never. I actually wouldn't advocate playing Aatrox jungle without a strong top laner that can initiate or at least walk in and take a shit kicking, because you're not that guy. That's not you. You're sticking with the other carries and you're knocking up, you're peeling, and you're beating up basically anything that's in range. Like with Bork, it doesn't matter if they're a tank or not, you'll still shred their health. If they have 2 tanks and they're really on your nuts, then just buy a Last Whisper and you'll be fine. Yeah, so that is where Aatrox's sticking points are. It's not the early game, it's not the mid, it really is, well, it's mid to late. It's the team fight stages. The team fights are really where he has issues. And I mean, any melee champion that has to build damage, a significant level of damage, to the point where it's taken away from their health and armor and magic resist, that's where... No. You can't make it. You can't fucking make it work. Like with the jungle items that you're getting, or the jungle gold that you're getting, you don't really have. Like you can't build into a super tank. I mean, like Sejuani and Volibear can build like flat health and magic resistant armor, and they can get by on that. You can't with Aatrox. Like you won't do any damage. You won't have any real impact to the team fights. Like you have to have that core of Wriggles and Blade of the Ruined King so you can shred anything that's in your path. But the issue with those items is they're kind of gold intensive. So again, you really want to play them like a crappy short range ADC, and jump on opportunities. Like you can still sit at the front, you just can't jump in. That really is where he's gonna just get shit on and fall apart and do nothing. Like, again, burst damage is what you're trying to avoid. Sustain damage, take it all day. Who cares? You're the king of sustain. By far and large, Aatrox is the king of sustain. No one has any health on. Well, I mean, like, I can't think of anyone at the moment. Like, Yi has crazy good sustain, but he has to stand in one place to get it. Same with Gragas, but he has to pop a barrel. Like, that shit's on a cooldown. As long as you're auto attacking, you're returning health. Like, that's that, and you're under 40%. It's a ridiculous amount of health. Like, you're gonna see at points here where I just go and auto attack something once or twice, and all of a sudden I get 300 or 400 back. So that is what I chose this game for, almost, although I'm kind of rambling over half of it, is really Aatrox. I have to go back here to stop this split push. If this Yisao joined the team fights, I was really glad that he didn't, because he does have a lot of hard... He's got like a little bit of hard CC and some heavy AD burst. That would have been really problematic to deal with in a team fight. I kind of almost would have wished that he would have been team fighting more, just to illustrate the point a little better. That Aatrox is strong in team fights to a point, just for the simple fact that... Yeah, I've been really tempted. I mean, Jub said, I jungle Aatrox and I rush Hydra and use no jungle items. Before Wriggles, I'd agree with you. I think Wriggles synergizes with Aatrox insanely way too well. Like, I mean, everything that it does is good on him. The damage, the health per hit, the health return, the attack speed. I mean, it's just all brilliant. Plus the gold passive gives you something to work on, or gives you a core to build from that isn't reliant on ganks, which you can't always get your hands on. The higher up in elo you go, the less ganks you're going to have available to you. That I promise you. This is almost one of the reasons why I chose this game, was because there weren't a lot of really easy early to had ganks, because that was almost every game that I played with Aatrox. It was a lot of early easy to get ganks. Maybe I'll show the videos afterwards, now that I'm actually capable of streaming them without chopping all over the place, and you guys can actually watch the kills, because they're just, I mean, and it was game after game after game after game. First blood, double kill early on, I mean, just over and over and over again. It's really strong early on. I mean, you can be reckless almost with his passive. Like, you can take chances where you obviously couldn't with other champions, which is really nice. There's a lot of good things to be said about him, but just the team fights is really where he is an issue to play. And I mean, I'm coming from a tanky initiating type of, like, I played Sejuani throughout the entirety of Silver to the middle of Gold, and half of all I was really good at was early ganks and initiating at the right time. So transitioning into a champion that basically just sits back and hits things is hard for me to do, and there were a lot of painful games where I did really, really well and then just fucking did absolutely nothing. Once, you know, like, literally I'll go 12, 4, and 16 or something, and then team fights, I'd dive in, start out attacking people, get in 3 hits, and then die, and just be like a damage soak. And you don't want to do that. Like, if you're Garen, if you're this Garen, you can be a damage soak. Watch this shit kicking he takes over the, like, the entirety of the map. Really is obscene. Like, this is damage soaking. This Garen can walk in. It doesn't even matter if he doesn't do any damage. If they're focusing him while he's doing it, then he's doing his job. Look how long this takes. Look how long this takes. And if Nami didn't land that bubble, he would have got away. That's the sick part. See, this is really where I like my videos to be. Just, you know, we sort of I pick a topic and just kind of ramble over it. Although I'm being very targeted over what to do with Aatrox in team fight stages. And again, back off, re-engage, back off, re-engage, back off, re-engage. I noticed my passive came up here, so ham time. And it doesn't work out at all. I should have kept backing off, auto-attack these wraiths, jump over the wall, clear the wraith camp, auto-attack the wraiths, auto-attack the minions. Still works out, but could have done better. Yeah, I don't build Wriggles early a lot. Again, like I was saying, I run just with Madrids and the Naked Doran's Blades. Just for the simple fact that, yeah, Wriggles is not impressive early on. The only time I really build it is early, when things are going exceptionally well and I want the gold. I'll build it more for the gold passive than I will for the damage. Because the attack speed is more what I'm after. And that little bit of attack damage is nice, but it's pretty insignificant. It's 10 or 12, something like that. I can look. Why am I guessing when I can just look? 12. So yeah. Xerath follow-up. That's what I've marked the next point at. It's 29 minutes. I'm assuming nothing interesting happened between those 2 points. I did go over this video earlier. So this is, Xerath is going to make a sort of pseudo-initiation, and I'm just going to jump on it hoping that he saw things that I didn't. Because I remember at this point in the game that I blindly followed up on this. And it wasn't the greatest spot, because I pretty much jumped into 3 people with no passive up and really low on health. Still worked out, but yeah. Well, not anymore. Let's... I remember being blown away that I revived there. And I'm going to back it up just a second to see where my passive... Oh, wait. What the hell? Looks like it's up right now. I'm still white, and it goes red. Weird. And I know this isn't a LOL replay glitch, because I remember this happening in the game. It's white, 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 white. I'm staring at it the whole time. I die, and then I revive. It's weird. Might have just been a glitch in the actual game where it doesn't show on the charging the blood pool bar. Anyways. That's for Ride's programmers to figure out. Till then, I'm just going to have to be slightly confused by it every once in a while. This Garen was crazy. He chases this Sona for... well, pretty much back to the base. Oh, Garen. Yeah, I don't rely on Wriggles so much for the snowball. I mean, speaking from a laner, I fucking hate Wriggles Lantern. Just because it gives so many jungles that excuse to just sit there and free farm their way to victory, which doesn't usually happen because the lanes get shit on so hard. I mean, I build Wriggles for the stats. I don't like the flat AD so much from the Lizard buff, Lizard Spectral thing. I mean, I don't really want to build too much flat AD on Aatrox. I mean, every once in a while I'll build a Bloodthirster. I really like Bloodthirster. But it's usually like Wriggles into Bork, into Boots, either Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads. It depends on how much AD damage, how much magic resist they have, how much CC they have. And then Randuins I really like. The hell else do I like? Spirit Visage is core for sure, unless they have like almost no AP damage. I really like Spirit Visage. And Randuins, what the fuck else I've been building? I mean, you don't get to that stage too often. You can see right there. I've been toying with Bloodthirster. I like the shield. I like the huge amount of lifesteal that it offers compared to before. I like that giant chunk of AD damage when you've already got a whole bunch of attack speed built. Because you get to like 2.3 or something with Wriggles and Bork and your passive at max. So having a giant chunk of AD damage at the end of all that is really nice. But, yeah. In terms of builds, I mean, the most important bits are the Boots, the Bork, and the Wriggles. I mean, everything you want after that is kind of... Spirit Visage, again, is pretty core if they have any sort of AP damage. And anything after that is whatever the fuck you want. I haven't really nailed on what's ideal for them yet beyond those 2 items. I have looked at Hydra a few times, and I've been very tempted. Because that AoE damage is attractive looking. And I also see your point of Hydra, and then I'm assuming... you said no jungle items. I'm assuming straight tank items after that. Maybe well, I mean, I don't know how you're going to get close to use all that AoE damage without getting annihilated with CC and burst. Yeah, I played almost exclusively tanks before Aatrox came out. And even then, the only reason I swear I'm doing this is because of this fucking awesome skin, and I just don't like him top lane too much. Yeah. I'm not sure how viable he is in the jungle. I can definitely tell you again, I've been at how I've been jungling with them. It's been really strong early on. Snowball a lot of games. Get a lot of kills that I normally wouldn't have with other junglers. Well, essentially, Sejuani and Volibear. Those are my other junglers. Well, then again, no, I played a lot of Elise. A lot of Elise. Elise would probably get those kills too, to be fair. Some of them, anyways. But she definitely lacks sustain. Doesn't have anywhere near as much sustain. Played a lot of Diana. Diana suffers heavily from the same problem that Aatrox does, where she can't really get close to teams. You build too much damage and you can get people, but you get instantly deleted once you get close, because that's what you have to do, because that's how your champion's built. Or you build too much tank and you don't do the damage you need to, and then you jump on their ADC and then he kites you and you die and feel stupid because you couldn't kill him. And yeah, there's nothing worse than blowing all your summoners. Like you've used your ult, you've used your main attack abilities, like everything's on 2 or 3 second cooldowns, you're right in front of the ADC, you have no flash, and you can walk up and auto attack him, or you can walk away and hope he lets you walk away. Like, those are your 2 options. Worst feeling in the world as a tank or an initiator or a jungler. Or, yeah. Nope, not at all. Never built Spectral Wraith once on Elise. Always liked how I found haunting guys in Source Boots more than enough damage on her. Yeah. Heavy Magic Pen is the way to go, in my opinion. It just gives her so much punch on her Qs. And those are really your damage items for team fights. Like, the W's kind of nice for harassing, and it's finished off a few kills before, but in human form, obviously. But that would be, like, if you built AP, then your W is basically your... I mean, like, your Qs are still damage items, but your W is what's being amped the most. Because the Q's percentage based, right? I've never liked building damage on Elise. Also, she's getting heavy... Well, no, not heavy nerfs. It was actually pretty small. It was like a 75 range decrease on her E. I think they can definitely go further on that. So, low health Aatrox, auto attack everything in sight, and then wait for the initiation. And get knocked up in the wall in the air by Nami. And then try and get close to the fight and kind of not do anything. And go back to auto attacking. Yasao's split pushing again, so this is basically a 4-on-5. Jarvan finally initiates. And I was just waiting for it. And then it's just chase, auto attack, kill, and then turn into a little ADC for focusing turrets. It just like that. I didn't cover this as well as I could have. I'm probably gonna do another Aatrox video, because I want to go over more of his team fights, but I also don't have a lot of videos where I mean, it took me a while to learn this. You know, like, you get fed enough on Aatrox and things go badly enough, often enough, you gotta really start rethinking whether or not you're doing things right at certain stages of the game. And that's kind of where I hit with him. Like, these were all plats, and again, like, mid plats. There was like the Nami was gold, I think. So it was a fairly high level game, and everything seemed to work out right. The only thing, again, I didn't like was that Yasao wasn't coming to gank or coming to team fight, which would have given me a lot clearer of a picture in terms of what would have happened in a full-blown team fight if Yasao was there, initiating, dropping, you know, his Super Wind Ninja ultimate. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah, anyways. So let's end this with some swanky-looking videos, since I didn't get to do them at the start. Just gotta find them on my computer. I can go eat supper because I'm getting hungry. This ran way longer than I meant to with the shenanigans at the start. Pause this. Pause. And off. That should work. Should work. Should work. I could. I gotta eat something first, but I could come back and do a ranked match. No, I'm trying to show... Full, maybe... It's working, I guess. Yeah. Come on, video. Do eat. I don't know if I want to... yeah, I guess I'll play Aatrox. I have to, don't I? Don't I? Okay, so I'll rewind this so I can actually sort of go over what's happening. This was a gank from Lee Sin that I turned around. Oh, I don't want that there. Lee Sin comes in for the gank. I pinged in to Aatrox that I was coming. Lee is making his life hell. See, there's Lee making his life hell. What I liked about this was that I was able to outduel Lee Sin, who's obviously very strong early. That is well known. It is known. So I get singed. Lee gets Gragas. Lee ends up getting level 4 first, and I choose not to give any fucks. But it's mostly just because he's low on health, and I mean, there's not much to stop him from letting me land a couple auto attacks. And once my E lands, then that just means I can Q in, because that's one at level 1 that there's 70 damage each, and then auto attacks 90 damage each. So definitely between E and 2 Qs, or an E and a Q and 2 auto attacks. Definitely Lee Sin's remaining health. Definitely. As the next time I do that, he kills me, and I'm left wondering. Next video is the same one? Oh no, just another game with another Lee Sin and another Gragas. Here I'm low on health. I don't even notice that Lee Sin's there. I'm looking at mid and I'm pinging to the mid that I'm coming to gank. And because Lee doesn't have, I was actually okay there. Like, if you notice, back up for a second. Back up. Before he gets there, it's already, I'm at 200 and Lee's at like a little over 3. And he's used his Q already, so I know that's not coming up for another 6 or 7 seconds. Like, that was most likely, I could have soloed him on my own there. Almost wish Lee didn't come help, so I would have been able to find out. And this is a gank on Yasao. When you're going in for early Aatrox ganks, walk up. First, you always wait for the right opportunity. You don't just always run out of the lane. Like, if I had here, he was already... You could see he was getting ready to just retreat. So, now that it looks like bush is warded, I'll sweep the bush, make sure that it's no longer warded. And I was about to walk away, but I noticed that he was kind of going back to do the same thing that he was doing before, in a position that is gankable. Like, where he is right now, this is a gankable spot. So, there's no sense to not gank him. Always try to save your Q, especially early on, for when they flash. You notice I walk up, start auto-attacking. If I can get into the best spot I can to land the E, the closer the better, obviously. Just because it's wider and easier to land. And the slow really is all you're trying to do there, so you can finish them off with auto-attacks. Let red buff and your auto-attacks do the work from there. And then this is a spot where I didn't know that Riven was there. I just suspected that a counter gank was coming. Like, it really looked like a counter gank was going to be coming. Just simple, it's a low health Victor. I know that it's a Riven. Rivens are cunts. They're dirty little cunts that love kills, and they chase them all over the map. But the lower the health someone has, it's like cheese for a rat. They just can't help themselves. It's like they can smell it. And there she is. I didn't see Riven throughout the entirety of this. I was really sure she was going to be coming top lane to kill Victor. Like, even where he is right now, I was so sure I was going to see Riven come walking out through Tri-Bush. But I swept that bush, I killed the ward, she knew I was in there, so I guess good on her for avoiding me. And I eventually give up waiting. and then go gank somewhere else. But I've got the fog turned off, so I couldn't see Riven throughout the entirety. Like I could go back and there was a point in the video I showed earlier, but I still don't know if she's in there. But instead we get a Fizz. I already saw Fizz use Blazeful Trickster. That's my biggest worry there. Is that he's just going to pop up in the air, and I'm going to wait for a second or two, which would have been obviously way too long. I just barely got out. Riven equals cunt, lesson learned. Nice to know you're taking something away from this, lords. So this is a gank on Renekton. I think I rewind this video because I wanted to show that I'm running straight in because I saw that he had sliced and diced already when I was looking at the lane as I was walking up. So you see he slices and I think it's called slice and dice. So right there, that's his escape ability. That means I'm walking in for the kill. Although with where he is right there anyways, I would have. And then he flashes, Q, give the kill to the top lane, move on with your day. I try to give away kills wherever I can as a jungler. Don't know if it's a good habit or not. Time will tell. For the moment, I've just been in too many spots where I end up getting fed and my team has no damage and they can't do anything. But that's also unlike tanky junglers. Like getting super fed on Volibear with no one else getting kills. Like, it just ends up being frustrating. I thought this was a good... earlier I thought this was good demonstration of the damage he can output, but it looked more like Triss took damage from the turret than it was... what's his nuts? Aatrox doing it himself. But that... I'll show it one more time. This was a spot where Sejuani, for example, would not be getting a kill on Braum. Definitely not. I mean, well, maybe. I don't want to say definitely. I never want to say definitely. There are so few absolutes in this world, and I've always liked that quote, only the Sith deal in absolutes. But, like, it is. Absolutes they're cunty things, you know? They're like labels for people. They're cunty things. Although Riven being a cunt, that's a label that she deserves. Is very, very apt. So maybe I will go get something to eat and then fire the stream back up. And we'll go play some ranked. Being everything's actually running properly right now. But for Summoner School, we will call that an episode. Till next time, guys, keep fit and have fun.